The holiday season is now here, and you know your big ass is gonna eat and eat and eat again. Christmas party, eat. Thanksgiving party, eat. Thanksgiving dinner, eat. Christmas dinner, eat. New Year's, eat. You need to eat some of this damn tea, some of this NutriBurst, and some of this damn NRG to help you flush some of that stuff out so you don't go into the new year being big and unhealthy. Drop down into the description box and click the link to purchase this and other fine products so you can be fine. Girl. Nessa girl. I know y'all happy, honey, to see me doing a Potomac review. And listen, I don't know if my absence from the Housewives and Love and Marriage Huntsville has had to do with my depression and anxiety or what it is, but I woke up this morning and I actually was energized and actually wanted to do it, which makes me happy and should make y'all happy too, because I was worried, child. I had them checked out for the last 3 months. The girl was not excited about this reality TV stuff. But for whatever reason, child, I guess they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I was missing it, so I had to jump back in this thing. So listen, I want to say this. To all the girls that I left the space wide open for the last 3 months, I hope you enjoyed it. Because Queen Mother is back, number one. And number two, we got a whole lot to talk about. Somebody told me a bitch with sticky notes said something. Wanna talk about it? Here you go. Nessa girl, let's get into these reviews. So I took a couple notes from the part 2 of the reunion, but the bulk of this review is going to be on the part 3 of the reunion. First and foremost, part 2 of the entire reunion should have been called Candace's Mouth. Because that's what that entire hour was about. Just Candace's mouth. And you know what? It's her refusal to just get it. I'm going to give her this. And it's just so funny because I can already tell by the energy between Candace and I that Candace feels as if I dislike her. And I do not dislike Candace. I have zero issue with Candace. Believe it or not, and y'all have heard me say this in many videos, me and this girl got more in common than not. And that's why I feel so passionate sometimes when I speak on the things that I speak of when it comes to her mouth. I will give it to Candace that oftentimes when she does come back at people, it's because they have started with her. Okay? Honestly, Candace, and I'm going to offer you this. Me, you, and Dr. Heavenly, we actually need to get on a 3-way or go out to eat, because me and Heavenly talk about this all the time. How to a degree it is unfair how a bitch can start with us and then you say something back to them and crush their damn ass, and all of a sudden you just become the worst person on the earth. I have felt it before. I completely understand it to the pits of my soul. And I have been where you are right now, crying about how it is unfair. But what's the saying? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. It is the gift and the curse of being who we are. The only difference between me and you is I learned to fight at the end of it. Now, Candace, the colorism thing. White people can have dry hair. Asian people can have dry hair. And her calling your hair dry had nothing to do with no damn colorism or your hair being 4C. 4C hair can be moisturized. Okay, we got a whole damn Carol's daughter and all these other internet startups, Shea Butter, Big Booty Judy Butter Oil, Edge Oil, Shekinah got Edge Oil. So to take this old OG from Basketball Wives approach and make it about colorism, that was some bullshit. And you see how everybody was taken aback. Wendy tried her best to help you. How can you say colorism is a real issue in society, but it's void of this group? And one thing I love about Ashley is she might be messy and a shit starter, but she is eloquent with her words. And Ashley was completely right. Ashley said, I have not seen any direct examples of, blatant colorism within this group. And she is right. Y'all show has escaped that now. Have people been caught up in Gizelle and Robyn's appearance and thought that they were more beautiful than some of the other girls? Perhaps. But none of that has ever been leveraged against anybody in this group. So I really think that was a calculated, and again, it leans to that dangerous white woman shit that you do with the buzzwords and the attack words. It's funny how the chickens come home to roost. Because last season, and here's the funny thing, I was hoping that we could get away with this entire season without discussing Monique, right? Like I wanted there to be a highlight on Candace's behavior and the way she responds to these women, independent of tying in Monique. But then on part 2 of the reunion, you reveal that you are mad that Ashley and Karen still have a relationship with Monique. I said that last season. And that fed into part of the reason why you were so damn mad. And that feeds into why Gizelle and Robyn and Wendy and all of them acted the way they did towards Monique, because the expectation was you and Monique fell out, you got beat up on TV, and now we supposed to not be friends with Monique. Monique didn't beat me up. Monique didn't cuss me out. Monique didn't drag me down to the winery. So why must I stop being friends with Monique over a situation that you instigated and escalated? Make it make sense. I will say this. It made me feel good to see that you cried over the situation again, because it honestly left me feeling like the only reason you was crying all them damn episodes and writing all them sticky notes last season was to purposely get this girl fired and to get her off the show and to sway public opinion. So it actually makes me feel a little good to see that your ass still toe up. Maybe, just maybe, the sticky notes was necessary. But what you used to write on the girl, you gonna be all right. Now I want to issue you this though, because I pop in these days, baby. I got so many jobs and so much going on. I pops into social media and I pops out, and this is where it gets serious. I didn't see it. I didn't bother searching for it. But the girl said you got to talking slick down to the Twitter. They said you retweeted a video or something and tried to call me a hypocrite or whatever the case may be. I don't know, because I didn't see it, but I'm going to offer you this. And I'm going to look you dead square in your eye and tell you this. I am a punk. Baby, we created the read, all right? I can double assure you this is not what you want, okay? In this space, I am one of the gatekeepers to public opinion. And unfortunately for you, my opinion and my thoughts carry more weight than your presence on this show. And also, unfortunately for you, there is nothing stopping me from completely obliterating you, because I'm not scared of your daddy and your husband can't whoop me. So I'm going to issue you this warning, okay? Choose wisely when it come to me. And I'm going to leave it at that. The ball is in your court. Choose wisely when it come to me. I'd like to be friends, but the ball is in your court. Moving right along. I thought it was very cute when Wendy said she got a 5-wick and a 7-wick. Wendy people, did y'all do any marketing research on how people knuckles and cuticles gonna get burnt up trying to use a lighter, lighting 7 damn wicks, and how long that's gonna take? Or is that gonna come with some extra equipment? Maybe you're gonna have to use one of them candle lighter stick things, which most black people do not own. We use matches that we got down from the sports bar, or a lighter that we smoke our reefer with. So I don't know how plausible. And then 7 wick, listen, these Dip Teak candles and these Joe Malone candles and Baccarat candles already going shit for a down payment on a car. How much is 7 wicks gonna cost? How much heat is that gonna give off? How much perfumey is that gonna have my house smelling? How big is it gonna be? 7 wicks is a lot of damn candles. And speaking of, it done got hot in this damn room with this light. Let me turn the fan on. 7 wicks is a lot of damn wicks and gonna have us going through a lot of miches. So, you know, I'm one of those people that in 2021, oftentimes when products like that don't exist, it's because it's a reason. I don't know that there's a lot of functionality in a candle that's got 7 wicks. Not to mention, if I'm trying to set the mood right, bitch, that's just like letting the sun in on the romance. That's like hunching the Luther Vandross at noon. It's supposed to be dark and sensual, dimly lit. It ain't nothing with 7 wicks that's gonna be dimly lit, bitch. Don't nobody want to look at like 4th of July in their damn bedroom and they trying to hunch their old ass man on their vow renewal like Karen and Mia with them old ass men. Bitch, the old man's bout got cataracts and glaucoma and can't deal with all that light. Now he got to lay up in the bed and hunch with some damn glasses on or some goggles like he in the tanning bed. Abort mission, Wendy, and rethink what's going on. People kill me with the half-ass accountability. Like, and I know some of these things, and I let y'all in on some of these things because I know all the Atlanta reality girls. I've been friends with these girls for over 11 years at this point. And I told y'all way back when the blog post came out and Wendy confirmed it. Y'all don't be wanting to listen to me. The issue was never about Eddie cheating or anybody believing it. The issue was about taking a molehill and turning it into a mountain. Why would you bring something from this small little blog and blow it up? Okay? Now here's another thing, and I rarely do this because I don't address other bloggers, but I got into a small disagreement with Monica from All About the Tea at one point because we did a video together about Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we were discussing something that in my spirit felt very absurd. It just felt absurd, and I expressed it in the video that she and I were doing, and Monica took it upon herself to edit out portions of what I was saying that challenged the information that she got. And then Monica subsequently had a conversation with me and said that, you know, she was hurt by me challenging the situation. She felt that I was being disrespectful to her on her blog, on her platform, and that her credibility is all that she has. And, you know, I don't know Monica that well. We've collaborated a couple times. I don't have an issue with Monica or her blog. I'm speaking as an observer. I'm speaking as a former web blogger. I'm speaking as somebody who's pretty seasoned in this game. And at this point, you know, and Monica, I'm saying this out loud, and yes, some people could argue that I could call you and tell this to you personally, or text you and tell this to you personally, but it was a part of the show, so I'm addressing it as part of my show review. While you said to me personally that your credibility is all you have, you seem to be having a credibility problem. Eddie cheated with a white woman and there's a baby. No baby has been produced. Marceau Scott's got a secret child out there with somebody. No child has been produced. One of Ariana Curry's closest friends told you she's planning a wedding. No wedding has been produced. Gizelle's got an STD. No proof has been produced. And it's like, you know, one thing about it, and two things for sure. Y'all know, and there's a lot of bloggers and vloggers out there that y'all call and say you can't believe nothing they say. But I can stand on the fact that y'all know I ain't never had that damn problem. And when FunkyDineva.com reported something, or when I get my ass on this TV and talk about something, mama know what they talking about. I'm not accusing you whatsoever of making up shit for clicks and views. But the truth never matters. It's only about perception. And professionally, Monica, you got a perception problem. Professionally, you have a credibility problem because it looks like your blog comes up with the most absurd of stories that are substantiated at best with "I heard" or "somebody said." There was a whole segment on a Bravo television show about how your blog puts out nothing but lies, you know what I'm saying, or false truths. I didn't attack your credibility. If that was an attack on your credibility, I don't know what is. So professionally, I'm just saying to you, mama, you might want to do a better job of substantiating your stuff and coming with some proof before you put this stuff out. And then it also don't make it no better that you put out all these what feel to be absurd stories behind an emoticon, or whatever you call it, and there's no real person for people to address, which further adds to the skepticism. You got a PR problem, sis, and I'm not coming at you. I'm not dissing you. I'm not doing any of that. I'm coming to you as somebody who is now, you know, climbing the ranks in radio, television, and the online space. That this ain't how I work. This is not how I work, and this is not how it should go. Now you got two choices at this point. You can be mad and make retaliatory videos or feel some type of way, or you could take what I'm telling you with love, but it's genuinely coming from a place of love. Part 3. Wendy pulls up the receipt. So we had already seen Wendy did an interview, I think, with the Jasmine brand, where she was talking about she was particularly pissed with Robyn because Robyn kept saying "what rumor," and Wendy was like, you were fully aware of what the rumor was. Now, here's what I find funny. Every time somebody comes at Gizelle or Robyn with physical evidence of the crime they've committed, they always want to deflect with the "you spent money on it," and then Gizelle used the word "whack." Gizelle, I'm going to take it easy on you, but I think whack is the one word that you should probably eliminate from your vocabulary. Because if you search Wikipedia right now for the word whack, your picture probably would come up. Like, everything about you is whack, Gizelle. Your love life, that addition to your house, your fashions, the way you conduct yourself socially, the way you think, hanging out with you. Like, it just feels like one whack, bitter, waiting to exhale, girl, this is good as it gets moment, or whatever. So you might want to eliminate that word. And of course it's whack, or we spent money on it when somebody's about to close you. Now, Robyn, you did a pretty convincing job in saying what rumor. You know, we all know that blog lies, so I thought it was another rumor. But I don't think the people buying it. And the professor came with a, what they call it, a diorama, honey. Girl, I ain't been to college in so long. Is that what it's called? I know the word diagram, but ain't it another one? A diorama? Diorama? I can't remember, child. I went to college 3 times. Don't try me. I got my degrees, okay? But I forgot what the shit it was called. Robyn, you did all this with your hat money? Listen. There's a market for any and everything. Everybody has stands and fans. I just don't believe Robyn don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars selling them damn Walmart brand hats. Now, I do respect the fact that she's realized, you know, at the price point at which her product is selling, it doesn't make no sense for her to go retail and share the profits. E-commerce is the way to go. That is smart, and I imagine, I mean, you know, if she sold 100,000 hats, I don't know what they go for at $20 a piece. I mean, that could be a cute coin. So maybe she did get a little down. Well, child, they only stand in the $280,000 townhouse anyway, so the down payment was only $28,000. It ain't that damn hard to come. Let me leave that lady alone, because she did all this. She did all this with her business, so I'm going to stop. If you did, we happy for you, Robyn. You know, Robyn, let us see if you can do some candles. Everybody else, you know what? Everybody else doing candles, that actually would be smart, because it would create a situation where now everybody is trying to buy one of each of y'all candles to see who got the best one. And each year it'll be a competition between each of y'all driving sales for every one of y'all. Ooh, my nose ring. That actually might be a cute idea for somebody else to step into the damn and step into the game with the candles. Now, when they ask who thinks Robyn is going to get married, and everybody just looked up to the ceiling, you know, it's Ashley made a very valid point where she said that Michael feels like Juan and Robyn have been conducting themselves this way for this long. There's no need to get married. You know, in a roundabout way, I've said that on previous videos. I said they're divorced, but nothing's changed. It's not as if Juan moved out, they split assets, you know, they have a custody arrangement, they still sleep in the same doggone bed. Nothing has changed. Today is Monday. If Robyn went to the justice of the peace and got married right now, come Tuesday morning, nothing in her life would change other than her ability to sign a do not resuscitate order down to the hospital, which for some people that is a lot. I mean, not for some people, that is a big deal. For legal reasons, they do need to get married. But all this wedding and carrying on, honestly and truthfully, I don't see the point in it. I honestly think just on one of Juan's lunch breaks, y'all should just go down there and sign a damn paper and stick the clipboard back under the window to rule county clerk fish and be done with it and go to Red Lobster and go back to work. Quiet as it's kept. I mean, for me, at this point, it really does feel like just that much of a formality. in their situation. And honestly and truthfully, I honestly think you'd get to marriage quicker if you did that and stop trying to pressure Juan about this fairy tale ass wedding, because I just don't think Juan and Robyn have a fairy tale relationship. I don't think Ron and Robyn have a relationship that's actually filled with romance. I think Ron and Robyn have a relationship that is built on comfort. I think it is built on trust. I think it is built on familiarity. I think it is built on past trauma, meaning Juan not having a family and Robyn's family taking him in at such an early age. It is the only family unit that he knows and has. I think that's a huge factor into why Juan sticks around. I think they stick around for the boys. I think they stick around because it's easy. I think they stick around because it's cheaper to keep her. If you go, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna have to pay bills over here and pay bills over here, I might as well just stay over here. I think it's a lot of reasons that when you add it all together, it just makes sense for them to stay together. But I do not believe that Juan walks into a room and Robyn's eyes just light up. And I'm damn sure know Robyn walks into a room and Juan probably roll his eyes like a girl on the playground. Like, here she go. Here she goes, smelling like Gizelle Coochie. Nevertheless, do your thing, girl. As far as them having a baby, you know, Robyn says she's 42. She gave him till she's 43. I don't even think y'all hunching, quiet as it's kept, as disconnected as y'all feel. So you might want to give him another two years. You already at geriatric pregnancy stage. You might need to expand that to 45, mama, because 43 gonna be here before you know it. The guys come out and Dorothy calls. Baby, the look on Chris's face with that Dorothy and her reluctance to apologize. And I'm going to get into Dorothy when we get down to the Candace portion of this video. So to get down to the reason why Michael and Juan are not to the reunions. We already know why Michael don't come to the reunions. He just rather not. He don't want to deal with the heat. It's easy for him. Michael don't need the money. He really don't care. He come in, start his little trouble, and go back to his life. Juan, on the other hand, quite frankly, I think Juan is in the same boat. I don't think Juan as truthfully wants to be there. I don't really get the impression that Juan really even cares for all of this or whatever. But to Robyn's defense and to Juan's defense, yes, he does have a job. He can't. You can't be taken off from coaching no damn basketball team. Especially a job that they family need to become full line with some damn reality TV show shit where Robyn can just hold it down on her own and the show's not going to skip a beat or her job is not going to be in jeopardy because of it. And Wendy tried to interject and say, well, my husband's not an entrepreneur. Yeah, but your husband's job has a more traditional corporate structure and his organization can function in his absence. If you're the coach of the team, you know, yeah, you got 1 and 2s in case you got to get your appendix taken out or something. But your organization cannot function with you full line with these hoes on reality TV. Like, Juan has his priorities in order, and that's good. Candace and Chris. So they talk about Chris's financial status. And Chris clarifies his job and financial status. Now, I'm going to tell you something. He gave the explanation about how Candace's morning goes from 3 in the afternoon to 5 in the morning. And how, you know, he is there to do the things that can't get done in the daytime. I will say this. I think the only issue with Chris and Candace when it comes to this is optics, right? I met a woman by the name of Susan Heineman many years ago when I lived in Atlanta. I lived at the 12. She was new to the area and we were talking. And she told me a story about how she and her husband met in school. They got married. And they both worked in their respective careers and worked at the Waffle House part-time. And that they decided at the end of 5 years, whoever's career looked as if it had the most earning potential would be the career that would be pursued, and the other person would be the stay-at-home parent, raise a family, tend to the house, so on and so forth. And in her situation, it happened to be her husband. And coming from a single family household with my mom and seeing my mom do everything, I really didn't have respect for stay-at-home wives or women because I didn't understand what they did. And Susan changed my life when she helped explain to me that her husband could not be who he was had it not been for her. You know what I'm saying? And then, she gave me countless stories and basically how she undergirds her husband so he can go out in the world and be what it is he needs to be. Now, Chris made this argument about, he was independent, before meeting Candace. Hell, we all were at our age. It's not a badge of honor that, you got a car and you pay your rent and you got a job. Everybody does, right? And Chris says that none of us know his financial status, nor do we know what you have, which is absolutely right. But that is also your fault. And because you never told us, and granted, it's none of our business, but based on the career that you had when we were introduced to you, please don't treat the viewers or the people in your friend circle like it is unreasonable to assume that you don't have much. And when I say don't have much, I mean hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. That's not unreasonable. I think that most people believe that you are an average American. You know what I'm saying? And what we know is that average Americans, got a little something in the bank, a little rainy day fund, but they're not sitting up on all this doggone money. We don't believe it. Again, I agree with you. I don't know what you have, but I don't believe you've amassed enough to handle the lifestyle that you and Candace currently live on your own, and that is okay. Here's the next point I want to make, though. And y'all help me out with this. Let's just say, Chris was part owner in this restaurant. He was working as chef, working in restaurant management. Let's just say that, Chris goes back into the restaurant stuff. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say he gets a job at a very nice restaurant, whatever. He's making $150,000 a year. Okay. Candace is over here at a certain point. I don't know. They're probably at the $600,000, $700,000 mark now on this show. I don't know if they keep going on. They'll be at the $1 million mark. So let's just say Candace is at the $1 million mark on the Real Housewives. And then she's doing her acting. That's bringing in more money. And then she's doing the singing. That's bringing in more money. With her being busy and bringing in, let's just say $2 million a year. Does it even make sense for Chris to continue to work in his career field making that $150,000? Because in the grand scheme of things, it ain't swinging the household account left or right. It's a drop in the bucket. And then at that point, does it make sense for him to focus his energy on how they can exponentially grow her money that she's earning faster? To me, it's unconventional, but it's called teamwork. I think a lot of people are caught up in the optics of it and this whole a man need to work. But for the sake of fulfilling this optical illusion that plays into a patriarchal mindset, does it make sense? And I think that this may be a case in their situation where it does not make sense, especially if he can undergird her and help them make even more damn money, a la what Todd did with Candy. Opening the restaurants and stuff. Using Candy as the marketing arm while I'm running this and the third. That didn't just happen overnight. It took some time. So all I'm saying is give Chris a little time to find his footing in this new life that they both have. But I don't think if Candace is around here making $2 million a year, that it makes sense for Chris to be absent from the household 60 hours a week to go bust his ass to make $80,000 and $150,000 when they don't damn need it. And there are plenty examples of it working. Mona Scott Young is one of them. Mona's husband was the stay-at-home dad. Y'all ain't have shit to say about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this is a situation of Chris just sitting up, not wanting to do nothing and wanting to ride out on Candace's money, even though it can appear that way. So Chris, you have something to prove. You know, Todd had to back Mama Joyce them up off of him by taking what Candy had and multiplying it. You got to take what Candace has and you got to multiply it, bruh, to show people, okay, this was worth it. This is his value and this is what it is he's doing. You know, Mia, when you first came on, I liked you. Then I didn't like you. And now I'm just, where I'm at with you is, I just think you're phony. And not in a negative way, like I think you a fake person. I just think that you lie a lot. I think that you lie a lot. And it's not cute, it's immature, it's stupid. And it's got me just feeling like why? Mia, you were a stripper. You were a stripper. But you're not anymore. It's okay. Let me help you. Mia, I used to do drugs, but I don't anymore. It's okay. Don't judge me from my past because I don't stay there no more. Lightning didn't strike me. I didn't lose a single dollar from my bank account for living in my truth. You were a stripper. You worked in the adult entertainment business. The restaurants you worked at had to have blackout curtains or blackout tents on the window because the content inside the restaurant was not acceptable for general public consumption. The license of the business that you worked for was listed under Adult Entertainment XXX. You were a stripper. Let's be sex positive. Like, you had an opportunity here to actually stand up for these women and prove that, you know, they deserve respect. And just because somebody works in the adult entertainment doesn't mean that they're less than or don't have any morals. And you completely dropped the ball on it. Because you're ashamed of your past and you're living a semi-phony present because you want to make it seem as if you just so self-made and so just gotten it together. And quite honestly, your husband got old and he taught you the existing business and slapped it in your hand. Now, rather you went out and opened 5, 6, 7, 8 of them on your own after that, we not gonna sit up here and pretend like your husband did not give you the life that you came to live. Okay? He gave you your life, and that's okay. That's what the fuck a husband's supposed to do. There's nothing wrong with that either. You know what I'm saying? But girl, your power lies in your truth. And if you learn to stand in it firmly, you would neutralize everything coming from these girls and they would not be able to come for you. But they know exactly where to attack because you are so insecure and weebly wobbly in those areas, and they sense it like blood in the water for sharks, and they know where to attack. Stand up in that shit, girl. Stand up in it. Shit, you living, and here's the other thing, you living better. You are, and people always ask me, how do I deal with the negativity? How do I deal with the constant negative comments? How do I deal with the people coming at me left and right all the time? And y'all not going to like this answer because it's going to sound real cocky. It's going to sound real non-humble. It's going to sound real like I got brand new. But here is how I cope. Because I look at the bitches that's talking about me, bitch, and I live better than each and every one of them. That's how. That's how I get through it. I look at my life and I look at theirs and I'm like, bitch, if I was you, I'd be mad too. You live better than majority of the damn cast. So it would be doing less. So there would be nothing any one of them bitches could say to me that would have me feeling any ways tired. I just gave you something for free. Stand in that. You lying about him wanting to toss your salad, that was just some BS. Gizelle feeling like she didn't owe Eddie an apology. I get that Gizelle didn't want to rehash it. We beat this up, we beat this up, we beat this up. I don't think it would have killed Gizelle to say, even if it was one of those avoid accountability apologies of, if, you know, that whole, if I did something to make you feel the way I apologize, I think you could have at least given Eddie one of those. But instead, you're going to stand in, you're going to double down on, I blew up something this small and this big because I brought it to this show, but I came behind it and said I don't think it's true. It doesn't negate what you did. Because again, Wendy's issue was never about it being true or false. And unfortunately, during filming, you're unable to break the fourth wall. And I wish that Wendy would have been able to articulate during filming that the issue is that you brought something this small and you blew it up on this show. Now, Ashley did say something that was very valid. She said, Wendy, we all get talked about and lied about in the blogs on this particular blog, and it gets brought to the show. What makes you exempt? And that is the God honest truth. And on top of that, if this is supposed to be reality television, and y'all are just supposed to be just living y'all lives, and the cameras just happen to be there, then this is your real life, Wendy. And this is what's going on in real life. So we can't calculate and pick and choose which parts of our real life we're going to show and which parts we're going to omit, because in all fairness, Wendy, this was going on in your real life. And in all fairness, Wendy, in any friend group, whether we believed it or not, when we met up at TGI Fridays for the next happy hour, somebody at the group before you got there was going to be like, girl, child, you saw what they said about Tamika husband on that blog? Girl, I don't believe it, child, but it was up there. Oh, girl, which blog? Show it to me. That's real life, baby. That's human nature. So if it's going to be a reality show, Wendy, then it's got to be all the way real, mama. Karen and the Surrey County thing and Ray bringing up the candles at the induction. That shit was tacky. And for Karen to be the queen of etiquette, like Marlon Henderson said, etiquette, and, you know, the queen of class, you know, that wasn't the time. It wasn't the time. And I understand Ray. I understood his position. This was not going to be the last opportunity. Cameras were going to have those damn cameras on her. You and Cameron could have brought up them cameras in another scene. It did not need to be brought up at the Surrey County thing. And then Chris interjected with, why is it okay that Ray can support Karen, but I can't support Candace? Well, Chris, the difference is, number one, Ray provided Karen with the lifestyle that made it possible for her to even be on this show. All right. Again, like we said, we don't know what you have, but we know you don't have that. Number two, like Gizelle said, the element that's missing is that Ray held Karen down for all this time. Much like when Greg Leaks wasn't working, he was just behind Nene, and y'all never once heard nobody say nothing about Greg need to get a job and Greg leeching off of Nene. People understood what it was. The optics were better. For you, it just doesn't look that way. And again, and I'm going to keep drilling this into y'all because I want y'all to understand this moving forward when dealing with people. And this is what comes with having an accelerated level of emotional intelligence like I have. You have been lied to if you believe the truth matters. Listen to me. And that's why I've already got my next 2 careers mapped out. My next one, I want to be a television producer of some sort. And after that, I'm going to be PR and crisis management because I just have a natural knack for it. The truth never matters. It's only about what people perceive. People operate based on what they feel they know. And they formulate what they feel they know based on what they see and the format in which it is laid out and presented. You could be in the background making Candace $80 million right now for all we know. And that could be the God honest truth. But because it does not look that way, people are not going to believe it. And they have a natural, emotional, and visceral reaction to what it is they are seeing. The optics, the perception. The truth never matters. It's about the perception. They talk about the beef between Chris and Michael. And I love the way that Ashley handled that. And she said, Michael actually doesn't have a beef with Chris. His beef really is with Candace, but he deals with the man. You can't do nothing but respect it. Because if he comes at Candace, that's going to create a whole different set of problems. And a man coming at a woman, and he going to have bigger problems than smacking somebody's ass. So I get it. And I like Michael's response. I mean, Chris's response. You know what? If he cool, I'm cool. If we not cool, we not cool. I really think at the very bottom of it that there really isn't much tension and beef between Chris. I think Chris is cool. I've had dinner with Chris. I've communicated with Chris from time to time. Chris is very cool, laid back, easygoing. I think that him and Michael could easily get to a place where they could have beers and stuff if Candace and